hopefully these jam tracks have given you the idea of how to apply these different mode sounds in a sort of real world musical context, that at the end of the day is the most important way to look at any instrument. It isn't, you know, the fact that we're defined by how fast we can play or how many techniques that we can learn or how, you know, how we can sort of like blow the other guitar player off the stage, although that's, you know, something that is definitely an aim when you first start playing. But you know, when all that's kind of said and done, and you get a little bit older maybe, and you kind of want to start to explore some cool like musical things, then you know this kind of thing can really help with that. I mean, I definitely feel like with my own development, understanding modes to this sort of point has definitely had a lot of like life in it. There's been a lot of mileage in me just being able to freely write music and perform and create stuff, and I don't feel like it's limiting me musically. You know, all the albums that I've done, you know, if any of you guys are familiar with my solo stuff, it's definitely something where I don't feel like I'm holding myself back. So this kind of amount of knowledge you can definitely get a lot of mileage out of. And you know, I mean, obviously you've got the tabs for my solos and stuff, so you can check out like my note choices and why I decided to kind of play that kind of stuff over the tracks. And then you can take some of those ideas and, you know, use some of your own kind of licks and stuff that you've learnt and just kind of practice it really and get to grips with just trying to understand the basic of modes, which is, you know, the name, the shape, the sound. And then when you do it in the context that I've done it with the backing tracks, you realise that those same scale shapes can sound vastly different with a different chord progression behind it. And that chord progressions, they're not just plucked out of nowhere, they're plucked from the actual framework of the scale itself, mainly the first position. So yeah, hopefully you've had fun learning all these different sounds and modes and shapes and all the rest of it, and I haven't confused you too much. Obviously there's the Facebook group on the Academy if you guys have got any questions about this kind of thing, but I think this is definitely, you know, one of those things where I basically just wanted to go, this is what it is. Now you can kind of learn this, pick the ball up and run with it yourself, and then, you know, if you want to kind of get really crazy with it, at least you've got a good understanding of what modes actually is. So until next time, I'll see you later.